Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
You know, you watch Shark Tank and you love them, but there's something about that Barbara Corcoran that makes you love her the most.
She is my favorite.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, I'm my favorite too.
We love you. We have so many
much.
things to get into. I will tell you this. As much as you may hear Barbara and Elvis Duran spar with each other, they do that because they are sisters and love each other.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
No doubt about that.
All right. Now, there's someone on the phone who wants to say hi to you.
Who's that?
Is Alex on the line?
You're Alex?
Did you call him? Oh, the senior executive producer didn't do his job and call.
They're dialing him right now.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Let's
here's the
gossip
thing.
about him while we wait.
Every time Alex Gandhi, every time Alex and I hang out with Barbara, Barbara always cozies up to him, and I'm forgotten
He's
about.
delicious.
Oh, he's the favorite of the couple?
Beyond favorite.
Beyond favorite.
I don't know how Elvis even got him as a husband. I swear to God. I don't know. He must have paid him off.
Oh, no.
He could do so much better than Elvis.
All right, here
it goes.
I'm used to it. Hello, your girlfriend's on the phone. Say hi.
Hi. I just heard that.
Alex. I love you.
He said happy birthday. Is it your
Happy birthday? One a year is enough on March 10th. Don't tease me like this. I don't want to be any older.
Now, Barbara, tell Alex why he's your favorite out of the two of us. I mean, because I'm a nice guy, and you tend to like me sometimes.
Here's a list, okay? You're sincere. You listen well. You don't talk too much. Excuse me a sec. That's my cold coming on.
Nice.
You're much, much better looking. You're delicious on the eyes. You're buff. I love your shoulders. They're rounded, and they continue on right down to your fingers. You got a great ass. And you're so uniquely yourself. You're not manufactured. All right. So the opposite is what I don't like about Elvis.
She hates his weak shoulders.
You hate my weak shoulders. So there you go, Alex. Now, I don't know what to say.
I feel like I married the wrong person.
Well,
I'm not in your club, but you could try it if you want. I'll give it a swing.
All right. Barbara said, I'll come do the show if we can just talk to Alex for 5
No,
seconds.
I didn't, Alex. See, and another thing, Alex, is you don't lie. There you go.
All right. I love you. I'm going to hang up on you now.
And I
I'm
love
jealous.
your giggle.
I'm jealous of you. Wait, hold on. What's scary? What?
You need to reiterate what you said at the top of this interview because someone just texted in that they said, I don't like the way she treats you, Elvis. Explain your relationship.
Wow.
Well, maybe
Good
she
point.
should listen to what they say. All right, Alex. We love you, Alex. I'll call you later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Wow.
Let me defend myself to that person who called in. Listen, I grew up with 9 siblings at a table for every meal. You only got attention from my parents if you could be quick-witted, if you could make fun of each other and get the whole table laughing. So for me, it's an acceptance of family. The more rough I am on somebody, the more I love them. I know that sounds weird, but that's the culture that I came up. So we do this thing back and forth. It's like, I love you between the lines, even though it sounds like insult.
No, Barbara and I are. The thing is, I love her. I adore her.
And I love you too.
But
I wouldn't take the liberty.
Now, here's another thing I love about Barbara Corcoran, Gandhi, is wherever she goes, she leaves behind a trail of great advice. And one piece of advice she just gave, just by telling her family story, is if you are one in a crowd, it could be at work, it could be anywhere. If you make the most noise and you're the most interesting, then you're going to get the better business. It's really...
And you'll also get promoted.
And you'll get promoted.
And people will think you're smarter than you are.
Okay. I just have to out-scream everyone in here.
You're not having a problem here, Gandhi. Don't you worry about a thing.
you.
Don't change a thing.
She's my favorite. So of all the people who Elvis knows and has talked about and he's friends with, when he started talking about you, I would geek out all the time. I'm like, but when's she coming in? When's she coming in? And then at his wedding, when I saw you, I turned into a groupie. And I made Brody take me over to introduce me to you.
I enjoyed it.
And he just kept talking and talking. I was like, Brody.
And what a wedding, right? What a wedding.
Did you have a good time?
I had a blast, but I'm so tired about you posting about it. Okay, it was great. The decorations were unbelievable.
I'm not
the food was
posting
great.
anymore.
It was unique. Yeah. You keep slipping a few photos in there. Let's
I
be
did
real.
not.
Yeah. I mean, okay. It was great. Okay, we got it. Okay.
Oh, Barbara.
But it was great. It was fabulous. Such an unusual wedding. Everybody's still talking about it, but he shouldn't be. That's like bragging.
Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on then. I will tell you something about a relationship I have with Barbara, and I want everyone listening to try to find one person in their life they can have the same relationship with. We enjoy just sitting down with each other and just coming up with lists of thought starters, things that make you think about business, about life, about relationships, and we don't know where we're going to use these ideas. Except for now, we're going to rip that list off and use them on our show. But you know what? It's great to have conversations with a friend about something other than the weather and something other than politics. We talk about conceptualizing,
getting fancy here.
Getting fancy. Conceptualizing maybe a side hustle, another job you want to do, or I don't know. Like last time we sat down at your office, we talked about some things.
We talked about a lot of stuff because you're trying to come up with a TV idea. Because I wanted to put you on TV versus leave you in the studio. Well, I got to cough again. One second.
Cough up years of experience. There you go.
Sorry about that. Very annoying to listen to, right?
So, I know that you guys on the panel at Shark Tank, you see all sorts of bright ideas and actually great people with okay ideas walk through that door. But it always must leave you with something to think about with each and every idea, be it good or bad.
Well, you know what the thought really is after they walk off the set? Man, did I miss that great idea? I'm so selfish. I think to myself, I don't want to miss a good one. But when I get a good one that I think really feels right, I'm like, I'm going to make a bundle. I'm going to make them a movie star. I'm going to make them a winner. I'm going to make them a millionaire. And that keeps me going for the next many, many months.
And see what's so beautiful about what you're saying? It's not all about what you can get out of them. You also have this desire to help others achieve their goals. And that's a goal of yours.
Can I tell you it's true of everybody? If you really want to get joy in life, you give. I don't think it's great to get stuff for yourself. I'm not undermining that at all. But if you want to get satisfaction in life, you help the next guy out and you just feel good about yourself. If you really want to deep down feel good about yourself, that's the shortcut to do it.
Off the top of your head, can you think about ideas that have come by and you passed on it and now you're like, damn, if only I would have gotten that idea?
Yeah, just about every piece of crap that Lori Grenier invests in. That's like worth $1 and she sells for $35. Yeah, every single one of those ideas that she saw, and I thought, what a stupid idea. Sponge with a smiley face. Who the hell would buy that? I'll tell you, 80 million people bought that sucker, right?
Wow.
Yeah. No, she's got a great nose for merchandise. She just has it. I don't get it. I have a good nose for people. I could see a person that I could really build on, like a foundation to build on and build a big business. That's my thing. So I give her hers, but I'm still jealous.
So let's go ahead.
What do you think is more important when it comes to you investing in somebody? Is it the idea or is it the person with the idea? Would you invest in a good idea with a not so strong person or an okay idea with a really strong person?
You look to me like you're smart enough to know that answer. What do you think?
I think you go for the person.
Of course. It's always the person. The core of everything is the person. The core of friendship is the person. The core of business is the person. How good is the person? That's the root. From there, you just say, what are they going to do with it?
What has been in your opinion, the most successful venture that you have you've merged with?
It's not about opinion; it's money. I mean, the one I made,
Okay.
but because you're talking business, so what's your most successful business? It's the comfy, an oversized sweatshirt that when the guys came on the set had it handmade. They didn't know who they were going to sell it for, who they were going to sell it to. They didn't know how they were going to manufacture it, and they're standing there and singing like a drunken jingle. I'm like, what's with these guys? And I thought, well, this won't make any sense, but I'll have a beer with them. I'll buy it. It's cheap. And now they've sold, $14 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to get one of
And
those.
The
then
most successful business, and I didn't even take it serious.
And there's a Cousin's Maine Lobster has done very well for you.
Oh, Cousin's Maine Lobster. Come on, those guys are hot. They're smart enough to call me up almost once a week and flirt with me. They're like 30 years old, if they're even that. They're good looking, they're charming, and they tell me how gorgeous I am. They asked me for more money. I said, write your check.
See,
No problem.
here's the key:
Come on.
be hot, and you gotta know how to find a nice horny investor like Barbara Corcoran.
I'm horny, I'm telling you. My sex life isn't the best, I swear to God.
I don't even
No,
believe that.
I don't
Not
believe
You
for
don't
a
believe
second.
it?
Nope.
Yeah, I know I look the part, but trust me, I've never been sexy. Even in my 20s, I wasn't sexy. Guys would take me out thinking, she's hot, she's energetic, she's fun. Oh, God, they got all that over dinner. And then after dinner, they went home disappointed.
No, see,
No,
you can
really
understand
don't.
what
Yeah, believe me, I'm telling you, some people are good at some things. I am not good at sex.
But,
It's just one of those
what
things.
you're missing here, Barbara, is your opinion of what's sexy is different than other people's opinion.
No,
See,
I'm going to tell you, a
I
guy
find you
leaving your
sexy.
bedroom smile. Yeah.
I find you
haven't slept with me.
desirable. I find you
Because
desirable.
haven't-
Me too.
Because you haven't, desirable is different than the delivery. You haven't asked me to deliver. Trust me, you would conclude like all those guys, like, she's not so good.
Oh my God!
Now you have to have sex with her and find out.
Yeah, come
No,
on.
I don't want, no, we
Let's
don't
have
have
sex.
that kind of friendship.
Let's go.
Something's
Let's go.
weird
pa-
about
Come on,
that.
let's go pound it out.
And I have a husband. Let's remember poor Bill at home.
Oh, that's right, there's Bill.
Who's listening, by the way. Sorry,
Hi,
Bill.
I love Bill. By the way, and that was very, very, very fantastic that you pointed out the fact that he is a veteran and you gave him total props on social media.
Of course, he deserves it.
He's a very interesting guy. I cannot see you being with someone who is not interesting because I could see you would be bored quickly.
Oh, my God. I'm never bored with Bill because he makes absolutely no sense.
Our friend Froggy is on board. You may have passed it on the way downtown. Our new Norwegian Encore. It's our new ship. It's on the Hudson River right now.
It's gorgeous with that paint job on the side.
Yeah, Froggy's on board now. Froggy, they're going to kick you off board in a few minutes, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we've got to be off by 9 o'clock so we can make its way down to Miami.
Yeah, you know what? We got to take Barbara. We got to do a Barbara Corcoran cruise.
Well, I'm going. I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get that done. Well, listen, tell everyone on board that we'll see them in Miami when we do the show there live Thursday morning, okay? Next Thursday.
You got it. We will. Actually, I want to ask Barbara a question. Barbara, what is the biggest red flag when somebody comes on the show and they're pitching you an idea? Ooh. What's the biggest red flag that is kind of that it's not really for you?
Poor eye contact. Right away, I'm out in my head. They're not looking at me in the eye. They're looking at Mark Cuban's eye. I know they're not interested in me. So I just I'm out before you get out on me.
Wow, there you go.
That's a really good point.
Yes, a lot of people have zero eye contact.
You don't trust someone who doesn't look you in the eye.
But then there are the people who hold your eye contact just a little too long and you feel
That's
violated.
That's a weirdo. Absolutely.
There has to be the
and
right
you're
mix.
doing that to me right now.
I know I am.
Gandhi has huge eyes.
Yeah, big eyes.
Intense.
Ooh. Yeah,
You'll
big
know
lips.
You feel it.
Yeah, I feel it.
There you go, Froggy. Eye contact. And I know you agree with that.
Absolutely. You know what? I just went on Google. I love to do this when we have people on the show. I went on Google and I typed, is Barbara Corcoran? And I looked at the autofill. The first one is married. So, Barbara, you must be a piece. People are wondering if you're married.
They're all wondering, is she married?
Yeah, I'm married, all right.
Yeah, she's very happily married. All right, Froggy, we're going to cut you off. Be careful getting off board, okay? Right. Yeah, don't fall overboard. Anyway, so other concepts in life that I think you can apply to business or just in relationships with other people. When we were talking earlier about how you can actually think through your childhood, think through your high school years. You can connect dots from then to now. Like, what did you fail at in high school? Or what were you told you were bad at doing? And you, just in proving them wrong, became a success in life. Can you go find anything that happened to you as a kid that explains why you are the way now?
Yes, of course. I mean, it didn't happen in high school. It happened in first grade with a nun from hell, Sister Stella Marie, who, just because I couldn't read like the other kids, just really rode my ass, telling me I'd be stupid. The problem with when you're a kid, you don't have a filter. You don't have your own self-confidence yet. You're very naive. You're open to the world, and that's why it's so damaging at those early ages. So to be told you're stupid as a young kid, it probably took me till I was about 30 to get over it. Isn't that a shame that I couldn't pull it out of my ass and just say it doesn't make sense? And she was a drunk, I found out in the end. Sister Stella Marie.
Nun.
Yeah. Who knew that nuns drink?
No, they do.
You know what the priests do, but who knew the nuns drank? This one did, okay? But that was the first rough hit. But let me tell you something, I got good at it. And in hindsight, it was a gift. It was a gift to be an outsider. It was a gift to be made, to be ostracized because you were the odd kid that wasn't measuring up. What it got me comfortable with was not measuring up. By the time I got to high school, I got charity D's right through high school, right through college. Even then I got into the college. It was amazing. It was their first year. It was a nunnery. They needed some lay students, and I happened to show up. Thank God I got in. But by that time, I didn't care if I got D's. D's better than an F. I would schmooze up the teachers and make sure they gave me a D instead of an F.
And so I
learned how to schmooze.
That was your schmoozing lesson.
That was my schmoozing. Until I got to Shark Tank. Fast forward. Until I got through Ramon Simone, who said I'd never succeed without him when he married my secretary. I mean, the power of an insult. By then, I was getting strong. And then when Shark Tank rejected me after they hired me, we hired another woman. I mean, by then, it was like I got up so fast and went all over them. Let us compete. Take us both out. Let us compete for the seat. So by then, I learned to take that negative and turn it into what my power was. And that's been largely responsible for my success, honestly, if I look back. It's whatever your biggest weakness is. If you have the courage to just take a shot at it, you can get really strong at that weakness. And that's what I did. I mean, thank God I had a rough start, or I don't think I would have had such a strong finish in so many areas.
So for everyone who has still a rough start going on,
we all have rough starts.
These are words of fantastic golden advice. And here's something that we always try to teach on this show is never walk away from any situation without learning from it. The most darkest days, the worst gut-wrenching experiences that you could be thrust into or put yourself into, there is a lesson to be learned from those things. Don't leave the fight with your tail between your legs. Look back at the fight and go, why did it happen? What did I learn from it? How am I stronger because of it?
You know, that's, Elvis, a big part of your book, looking back at through your rough periods and seeing that the next step wouldn't have happened without it. Easy to do after you pass it. But when you're in that pit, when it's not going well, you can't look at it and learn anything. You don't learn anything till you have hindsight, right?
Right.
But that you pause and see, this wouldn't have happened if this hadn't happened. And my God, thank God that bad patch happened. That's it. But you need distance.
Never ever say, hey, that was an awful time in my life. I never want to think about it again. No. You should be thinking about it again.
Yeah. I look at it as failure is part of the success. Right? To get to any successful path, you have to fail multiple times. So whenever I
fall on your ass.
Yep. When I fall on my ass, I'm like, this is part of my process. This is fine.
You know, again, easy to say, but when you're failing, you feel so goddamn lonely. You feel like you can't see the light. You can't see the upside. And what you need then is not even perseverance, but you almost need just a note of optimism. Like, let me take a breath in and see where this lands me a year from now. You need distance, but that's maturity. That's when maturity comes in, I think.
And understanding that it's not the end of time just because you're at an end of your rope situation. There is more time ahead.
Romance, my God, when a romance ends when you're young. Oh, God.
Oh, here she goes.
Wow.
Okay, by the way, the reason why you're loving, we're loving Barbara today is because she's giving you pure Barbara, and she has this podcast out. And I'm going to tell you all about it in a second. But first, we have 2 ideas to be pitched. Don't you hate when people...
happens all the time. I love it.
This is like when Dr. Oz, people go up to Dr. Oz and pull their shirt up and go, what's wrong with my boob? You know. So Allie Gold, and turn on Allie's mic over there. Hey, Allie, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Have you met Barbara before?
No.
Oh, there you are, Allie.
I saw you at the wedding from afar.
Yes, of course. You were really decked out, too, as I recall.
Allie was at that wedding. All right,
looking sexy.
What is your thought? Oh, walking through the doors is Allie Gold, who does all social media for the Elvis Duran Morning Show.
Hello.
Ooh. Say hello, sharks.
Hello, sharks. I'm Allie.
Right.
I have an app for you. It's called Tingle. When you walk into a bar, how do you feel when you don't know how many guys are single? Well, this app will notify you how many people in the bar are single.
Wow, how would it even know that? I'm a little suspicious.
Well, when you sign up for the app, you tell it that you're single.
You say, I'm in your bar and I'm single.
Yes. And then when you walk into the bar, so it's location based. So you walk into the bar and then you get notified there's 15 single guys in this bar or 15 single women in this bar for you. So now people don't have to feel intimidated when they walk into a bar and they don't know who's single, who's not. You don't necessarily see their face, but at least you know there's a good amount of people in the bar that
I think people would pay for it. I like the idea. I'm not going to give you any cash on this one, okay?
Because I'm offering 100% equity for 100% of my business.
Oh! You're just giving her the idea.
That's a pretty good...
No cash amount at all, right?
Okay.
No.
I kind of like those
you should put a
odds.
vibrator on the phone that comes with the app, so you get vibrated as well and really get turned on. Single.
I like it.
All right. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. And in through the Shark Tank room door walks Scotty B. Scotty B, Barbara Corcoran's here.
I don't like the way this guy looks.
Look her in the eye, Scotty.
Hello, sharks. Now, I do most of the supermarket shopping in my family. And have you ever gone to the supermarket and it's a little bit cloudy? You walk in and then it starts pouring. And you're like, all my groceries are going to get wet when I walk out there. This sucks. So what I've invented is the shopping cart shower cap. So,
Okay, all right.
When the weather turns bad and you're in the supermarket with a cart full of groceries, the cashier will pull out a box, put it up on the counter, and you can buy them for $1. And they're like those cheap shower caps that you get in the hotel, you know, the clear ones?
Yep.
And they just go right over the shopping cart. You push it out, and all your stuff stays dry.
Yeah, very terrible idea.
Yeah. He doesn't care about the environment at all.
Why is it a bad idea?
Because I've been in that situation. I just asked the cashier, could I have a few extra plastic bags and put it on top? No, why would I want to pay for that?
Oh, I guess there's that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you go away. Come back with something better.
The high-end supermarkets can give them away for free.
Well, that's nice, but then you have to brand. No. One more thing. No.
I love you, Scotty. All right, so
God, I've been thinking about that for years.
All right, well, thank you, Scotty B. So finally, into the Shark Tank walks Gandhi.
Hello.
Gandhi has an idea for an app for you, Barbara Corcoran.
I do. Hello, sharks. So if you've ever been in a situation where you are meeting people constantly and you know that you're meeting people you should remember in the future, people who you want to network with, but I just can't remember what they do, what their name is. I present to you an app called Shazam for Faces. You should just be able to take a picture of someone and then have their entire bio pop up so you know who they are before you have an awkward encounter.
Let me tell you, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
And I really will invest in it.
But no, hold on. But how would you feed the database of the pictures and the information?
Between Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, they have your faces. You just have to find a way to get them all to work together to give me this Shazam for faces. And LinkedIn.
Easy. It's easy, really.
Yeah.
Face ID is pretty easy today. Yeah. Do you have any cash you want to put in for yourself?
I will put in, I have about $25 in my wallet.
I'll match it with another 25.
Yay!
Oh, this is great.
But the key is you need a technology person. You've got a great idea, but the best technology apps are always invented by technology people. They kind of pull it out, so you really need a partner. Find a partner, I'll invest with you.
Okay.
Yay,
success.
There you go.
This is great.
All right.
By the way, that's my idea. If you hear it on the radio, don't steal it.
Yeah, no one's going to steal.
Of course, everybody's going to steal it. Why didn't you think of that?
Well, I feel like because I said it into a microphone, we have proof that I came up with it first.
No way.
I gotta be honest. I stole the.
That's a good one, though.
I stole the grocery store shower cap. Anyway, let's talk. Okay, so how much fun is it? Barbara Corcoran's magnificent. We love you. Now the podcast. This is where we want you to get more Barbara. You can get her how often do you update the podcast?
Every single week. Yeah.
Every single week. What's it called?
It's called 888 Barbara. I wanted to get 1-800 Barbara, but it was taken by a porn star. Believe it or not.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So 888 Barbara. So what are you talking about on your podcast every day?
I talk about whatever people need to hear. I ran a business podcast, which I still have, Business Unusual, all straight-ass business advice, which people really need, okay? But I found that constantly they were asking about other things. How do I dump a boyfriend? How do I fire my mother? Just you name it, people ask it. And what happens as a result of that is you wind up talking about the people. And so I talk about people and get them over what they're afraid of, what's stopping them, what is in their way.
God, stop saying
No, but it's true. We all have it. Oh, wait, you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah, don't say the brown word.
What's wrong with that word?
It's antiquated rules, but it's not our rule.
Okay, even my mother used it.
Yeah, I know. So we just had to dump Barbara a little bit, but she's back. She's live. So here's what I love. If you, of course, you've got to listen to 888 Barbara, the podcast. I follow you on Instagram, and you put out something juicy almost every single day.
You think so?
There's great advice. Great advice. So you're currently at 522,000 followers. We're going to talk about Barbara Corcoran and her Instagram, and I want to watch that number rise because radio works.
It does.
We're going to get just more followers. But the podcast, you enjoy doing it still?
I love it. You know why? It's so intimate. I feel like I make a difference in people's lives. They tell me I do, and I believe them. I make a difference. I really know how to counsel people well. Yeah.
You're the best. We love you, even though you hate me.
I love you, and you know it. I'll never kid with you again publicly. Just it's a private thing. No. People will misinterpret.
By the way, Straight Nate tried to call 1-800-BARBARA. It is a sex line.
I know it is, and she's pretty good, too. She's probably making a lot more money than I am.
Okay. So the podcast is 888-BARBARA. And, of course, you can follow Barbara on Instagram at Barbara Corcoran. And, of course, Shark Tank and Elvis and Alex's and Gandhi's best friend, Barbara Corcoran. We love you. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you so much.